Good evening, everybody. James Steele IV here with Red Mile Media and Space Central Television. We're across the street from our fabulous co-working space at Space Central, and I'm here with my new friend Shawn Chan. He is one of the co-owners of Kaks Bar and Podcast. Fantastic business concept. I'm going to have him talk to you about what's going on down at this facility, and here he goes. Go ahead, Shawn.
Just right there, Jim. Hey everyone, I'm Shawn. I'm the co-founder of Kaks Bar and Podcast along with my business partner, Kaks. Kaks Bar and Podcast is the first bar in Canada with a podcast studio in it. So what that means is you can come down here as a regular bar restaurant. You can come here for food and you can come here for drinks. We also, in this studio here, we record podcasts. Specifically, we record the Kaks Bar and Podcast TV, Kaks Bar and Podcast show. So what that is it's kind of like a mini Joe Rogan podcast. Just like Rogan, we podcast with a wide range of guests from all walks of life. You don't have to be a celebrity to come on this show. We talk to anyone. I've had realtors on, I've had bartenders, I've had people with businesses, nonprofits, ranging from, as an example, recently we were with the girls at AIM ADHD. It's a business designed to help people with ADHD. Then we also had Jenny Chan and Stephanie Mock from OdaFest. OdaFest is an anime convention, a nonprofit. I've also just had bartenders on. It's a podcast. Podcasts, at the end of the day, are conversations, not interviews. And if you're on the Kaks Bar and Podcast show, if you have a business, you have something you're trying to promote, it's completely free. You just come in here and you talk to me. And from there, you can also have drinks. Like, we're a bar, so people get loosened up with some alcohol, and then we can just let it rip and see where it goes. It's a safe space environment for anyone to talk about anything and everything they want. I do all the editing, so if you ever feel like your thoughts were not organized at the time, I can simply edit things out. At the end of the day, the content is posted on YouTube for video, Apple, Spotify for audio, and clips and things of that nature on TikTok, they're on Instagram, they're on Facebook. And it's a great way for people to connect, because at the end of the day, my business partner Cass and I, we started our own bar because we want people to come back to hang out at bars. Back when bars were fun. Bars should not be this fast food thing where you come in, get your food, get a couple of drinks, it's like your medicine, and then you leave. No, come back and hang out. Like our slogan is, come for the beer, stay for the conversation. This room is also rentable if you just want to shoot your own content and you don't want to post it on Kaks Bar Podcast, Kaks' platforms. You can rent this room out. We have varying rates, and all you gotta do is get in touch with myself to set that up. We can be reached at Kaks Bar Podcast as the handle for our TikTok and Instagram. If you DM the Instagram, it goes directly to myself or my business partner. Or you can just email us at info@kaksinc.com. And from there, that also goes to my business partner and myself. We can set up the podcast schedule from that point on. That's Kaks Bar and Podcast intro. Jim, back to you.
It's a fantastic intro there, Shawn. So a question I've got is, when did you first open up, just so people know when your bar started, and what was kind of the impetus for getting this going, and how did you come up with the idea about this podcast? Because from what you've told me, it seems like it's probably the first establishment in all of Canada that's doing this concept. So just maybe elaborate on that a little bit for our viewers.
Yeah, this has been in the works between me and my partners for a few years. Kaks originally was an acronym for four of us. I'm the S in Kaks. My business partner Cass is the K, and we had two more other business partners. As the project continued, the other two business partners were no longer with the project. And so Cass and I continue with it, and at that point the branding and everything had momentum, and we just decided to keep the word Kaks. It's a funny word. There's many ways to pronounce it and say it. You use your imagination and have a laugh with it. As far as the idea goes, I'm gonna be honest. I thought this already existed. I actually thought it existed somewhere. I thought, oh yeah, there's bars that podcast studios in there. I just haven't found them. But as I incorporated and got our business set up with the government bodies that set up, trademarks and things like that, they basically told me I'm the first bar podcast business combination concept. And so we're the first, as far as I understand. I mean, I could be wrong, but as far as I know, we are. And the idea just comes from my love from podcasting, my business partner's love for running bars and restaurants. Cass has an extensive background in bars and restaurants. He's been a managing partner for a variety of places. He's very well versed in the back of house, which is the kitchen section, front of house, which is the bar aspect. He knows what he's doing in that regard. And then we brought in our chef. His name is Emmanuel Stackard, Chef E-Man, we call him. The entire food menu is from Chef E-Man. So come on down and try the food. It's amazing. It's elevated pub food. We're talking about burgers, wings, some salads there. We do have veggie burgers. We have amazing appetizers like our risotto bites, things like that. We post a lot of our food reels on our social media. So go to our Instagram and TikTok. It's Kaks Bar Podcast. That's the handle again. KAKSBAR PODCAST. And from there, Jim, basically, we were trying to do this before the pandemic, but the pandemic happened, we put the thing on hold. And then the instant the pandemic lifted, me and my partners took action to create this. We've always wanted to make bars back to the way we enjoyed them when we were growing up and going to them, because for sure bars have lost their way. So now we're just bringing that back. And then right now I have a love for podcasting. I love chatting. I love connecting with people. I love getting smarter and advancing myself from interacting with people. Like even Jim, like we talk a lot off the air, and the guy's wealth of knowledge with a lot of history and a lot of variety of things. And especially when you put a microphone in front, you're more dialed in. I noticed there's definitely an energy connection of that kind of sort. And because of that, I wanted to be a podcaster. I knew that. And then my partners and I, we just combined the idea. And now here we are, and it's been good. It's been good. Late night crowd picks up usually like 10 p.m. and on, because we open till 2 a.m. We're 11 a.m. to 2 a.m. 7 days a week. Our menu is available 11 a.m. to 11 p.m. the full menu, and then the late night menu is 11 p.m. to 1 a.m. So we're a late night spot. A lot of bars close at 12. Not us. We're bringing back 2 a.m. Only a couple bars from what I understand like stay open that late, but we're bringing it back because the reality is that's how long people used to go to, and they had plenty of sleep and got to their jobs. So and a lot of the magic happens after midnight anyway. So definitely come on down to Kaks Bar Podcast, 1006 First Street Southeast, right in the Beltline of Calgary there. We opened a month ago. I believe my memory's a little bit distorted now. It was June. I think it was the first week of June or last week of May, approximately. So we've been open about a month and some change now. And that's it. Yeah, this is my business partner and I's first entrepreneur. It's our first startup. So we're fresh in the game, and we're working our ass off to make sure everyone has a good time here, knows about us. My partner and I, we are here all the time because we love it. This is our baby, and for many years to come, you can expect to see us here all the time. I mean, where do you go to a bar where the owners hang out with you, make sure you're taken care of, and make sure that the bar is consistently awesome.
I can certainly vouch for that. So I've seen him here every single time I've walked in, the exception being tonight when I first came in to set up for the interview. He was actually out for a walk getting some fresh air for probably the first time in a long time. But it was probably about a month ago. I'm literally across the street here looking at our building. I'm looking out the third floor window, and I said, Kaks Restaurant and Podcast. That's interesting. Or bar and podcast. I was actually looking at setting up a podcast room in our facility, and I thought, podcast? I got to come across the street and talk to these guys. So I did, and we connected instantly. The two of these guys are fantastic business owners, very entrepreneurial, very visionary. And I said, you know what? We're doing every Wednesday night evening networking event. You guys are more than welcome to come across and maybe bring over some beverages and some snippets of food for our guests and see if you can expand the reach of your bar. So they came over the very next week and brought over a fantastic variety of food. Everybody absolutely enjoyed it. And now we're deciding we're going to do our regular networking events over here on Wednesday night. So for sure, go to spacecentral.ca and take a look under the events tab. Register for one of our weekly events and come on down, do some networking. And we're going to do our social part of the evening over on this side. We'll do the business portion over there. And we're just going to direct traffic over here to start your first podcast over here for free. And of course, if you want to do some more advanced video editing and studio productions, we have the full studio across the street to do that. So I really commend you guys for your vision on this. If you haven't been to his channel yet, go take a look at some of his videos and see the open format of the conversations, and you can talk about anything. We've brainstormed some ideas here, and one of the things we've talked about is having business owners come down here during the day, whether they're managers, directors, senior managers, employees, whatever, of a company downtown. You guys are welcome to come on down and participate during the daytime. Talk about your business. Do some networking on the podcast. Get your message out while the quiet time is during the day. Because as you know, what he just said here is the evening times, especially after 10, they start to get slammed with the after-work crowd from the bar industry. So take a look at some of their podcasts. They have a growing reach on there, and we're going to generate millions of hits on their website for them, and we're going to work with these guys religiously. I'm going to pass the mic back to Shawn, and Shawn, you go ahead and add anything you want to this scenario.
Yeah, I just want to point out, we do allow minors as well. This place, like our liquor license allows that. Obviously, we're not going to serve minors alcohol, but we allow minors at this place. We do ask them to leave around 8 p.m. because the bar atmosphere really livens up after 8. But during the day, it's kind of like a family restaurant, if I have to be perfectly honest with you. So I'd say bring your kids too. Come try food. Our patio's coming soon. It's going to be dog friendly as well. We're going to have a dog menu as well. So absolutely bring your dogs down. We love animals here. I mean, I would let dogs be in here if I could, but as of right now, we don't allow dogs in the bar, but we're going to be allowing dogs on the patio. So this place isn't just this bar world. It's also a family restaurant in a way. You can look at it that way during the daytime. Definitely come down and try the food. We got nothing but positive feedback. My chef is amazing. I can't say enough great things about Chef E-Man, and we are always evolving the menu to meet the wants of the public, And Jim, and I gotta thank Jim as well, because Jim's Space Central studio there, it's literally like a movie set. Versus we designed ours to be simplistic, as if everyone can just jump in and shoot their own podcast. You just bring your computer, we have the mics, everything set up, and you just use any podcast software you would like. I use Riverside. It's called Riverside, RIVERSIDE.FM. I think it's a European company, but either way, it's very user-friendly. They have free trials, and then they have a very affordable monthly rates to use the software. I think I've been using it for so long now, I don't remember the rates, but I know it's maybe 100 for the year, 120 for the whole year. I mean, you work out the monthly cost, it's not expensive. But don't quote me on the exact price of that. It might be slightly up or down, but either way, completely affordable. But if you want to elevate your production, Space Central's next door, and Jim has the setup to do green screen things, basically movie level special effects stuff. If you wanted to increase your production. But here at Kaks, we're a bar restaurant, and it's like a chill environment to do a very easy podcast, kind of entry level. But if you want higher end stuff, after Space Central is literally across the street, and they specialize in multimedia stuff. I've seen the room myself. I'm super impressed, and my business partner and I will probably use it eventually just to shoot some higher production stuff down the line. So it's a great collab, Jim. I'm glad we met. And absolutely bring people down. And this room again is also rentable for events. We've already had book outs multiple times. It's a perfect room. It seats 60. It holds 100 for capacity. So book your parties here. Book your Christmas parties here. Wedding parties, things like that. And Kaks is also expanding into down the line. Stay tuned for comedy nights. We're gonna do some stand-up comedy nights. We're doing trivia nights as well. Just varying ways to use this beautiful room here. And like Jim said, Wednesdays, the networking events at Space Central will come on down here for some food and drinks. And I'm grateful for you sending them our way, and we'll take care of them for sure.
One of the things we kind of brainstormed and thought about here was networking with the NHL teams like Calgary Flames, of course, and any concerts that go over at the Saddle Dome or anywhere in town, maybe down at the, theater down here, the Arts Commons. We could network with these events, management teams, and whenever there's someone in town, they could certainly bring their guests over here afterwards and do an autograph signing event. They may even sell tickets for that, or they may have to have a registration to come in and do it. But just one way to really reach out and allow people to get their message out, whatever it happens to be. some of the podcasts you'll listen to are very family friendly, and some are a little more on the edgy side. So, use your judgment on those, but we definitely want to open this up to everybody and really make this a fun place to come to. Really innovative. I'm super impressed with their setup here. They got three microphones, 3 or 4 camera angles. And like you said, you can rent this room out, close off the curtains and do your own private event in here, or you can open it up and have the glass out here and let everybody see you podcasting. No different than the news you might see down at City TV down on 7th Avenue Mall there, and you see people looking in the window as the broadcasters are talking. Lots of fun stuff going on. But Shawn, is there anything else you want to add before we close it off?
No, we should close it off. Night crowd's starting to come in here, so it's basically time to party. All right, bye everyone.
Awesome. Thanks, Shawn, for the interview. Normally you're on the other side of the camera doing the interview, but tonight it was his honor to be sitting on the other side of the camera for once. So yeah, come on down to Space Central, come on down to Kaks and check out the place. It's a fantastic venue, and they're going to look after you great. The food is fantastic, and those risotto balls are just super. You got to have one of those the first time. It's just out of this world. So again, James Steele here with the Red Mile Media and Space Central Television signing off. Have yourselves a great stampede, and we'll catch you soon.